This is the In-Laws podcast from 1718 Media. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating if you enjoy the show.
My name is Arthur.
I'm Philip.
And I'm John.
Sipping on some tea this week, mates. I decided not to get drunk.
I bet that's tea, bro.
I bet that's tea,
Imagine
bro.
just whiskey.
That looks like a bourbon.
Warm whiskey.
It's actually
Wet the whistles.
It's just
go ahead and
9
tell you
ounces.
Whiskey for the whistles.
I'm going to
It's
tell
9
you a little
ounces.
sport. It's a chai tea,
Delicious.
and I went ahead and added some honey to it.
Nice.
Nice.
Should add a little bit of cayenne and nutmeg.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
A little
Now that-
spice, brada.
You got too advanced for me on that.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, it'll change your life a little bit.
This week, I have a question of the week. Are you guys prepared to answer a question?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
This one's interesting, courtesy of Reddit. Time freezes for 48 hours, and you're the only thing not affected. What do you choose to do?
Oh.
I probably should have prepared for this.
All right.
Hmm.
Let me try and break this down, all right?
Yeah. go
So
for
you
it.
okay, so everything else stops but me. Does that I'm assuming that means that I can't get on a plane because I don't know how to pilot a plane.
Right.
Damn. I can drive a car though. 'Cause I
Yep.
know how to drive a car. All
Okay.
right. Let's see. For 48 hours, I'd probably stay around here. I'd probably stay around the general vicinity that I'm at and wreak some havoc.
Make the most of your time.
Hell yeah. Maybe some like small havoc things like, I don't know, maybe change a few like stoplights or something.
Dude,
let's see
so
what
you
else.
actually just want to destroy shit. Like,
you really meant wreak havoc, bro.
I wanna
You're like,
keep-
I'm
I
going to
wanna-
freaking murder some people when it hits on pause. It's like,
No,
He's
if
like,
I'm
he's
gonna
like,
do
wait,
that, I'm going to do something different.
he's
I
like,
just wanna
wait, I
to-
can't cut some wires in this plane. I can't freaking...
I want to create some minor inconveniences that people are going to have a hard time figuring out.
Like change the stoplights on the highway.
You just
some
wanna-
minor inconveniences like comas.
you just want to make shit more difficult, basically.
Oh yeah.
My mind goes to how can I get the most money in 48 hours? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
that was
like-
that was the first thing that popped into my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, bro, you just go to the nearest steakhouse, like Brazilian steakhouse, and go to the back in the kitchen, and whatever meals have just been prepped, you just down that shit.
Oh, that would be stop number one.
Like,
Just
bro,
get
you got
fed.
freaking. I mean, you gotta have some energy for the adventures that lay ahead.
The 2-day
100%.
adventure.
I'd also head to
Alright.
that Ferrari dealership, pop a few keys, and let's go.
Ooh, there we go.
What's
there
cool
we
is,
go.
like, you can literally do anything because it's not like you'll be on camera. Like, they're
Mhm.
frozen. You know, everything's frozen except for you. So you can get away with basically anything you want. Not that you should do anything, you know, evil, but theoretically, I'm thinking about robbing a bank. I'm thinking about,
for to give to the poor, right?
I'll donate about half.
The old Robin Hood.
Bro,
Who
but
doesn't
like, how you-
deserve? Who doesn't deserve what they have? Let me try to think. Like,
Let's see.
I'll find Jeff Bezos.
Who doesn't
go to Jeff
deserve
Bezos'
what
house.
they have?
Bro, the problem is like if you say he doesn't deserve what he has, then you better like cancel Amazon.
All right. No,
we gave it to him, bro.
That's true. That's true. No, I mean, I just feel like you
Yeah.
could steal a couple bucks from him and he probably wouldn't notice.
He's got something to spare at least. Like
Just break into his safe. And
he's
then,
probably got 100 in the wallet. Like
yeah, for sure.
for sure. Just take the
here we
rollie.
go. Oh. I was gonna say if we were in a casino or something, we can go change a few numbers on the little spinny thingy.
Ooh.
If you know how to do that.
Ooh, you could just arrange your deck real quick
So
after
it
it's
looks-
technically already been dealed.
Yeah. So like
Ooh.
whenever the time starts, boom, you're wealthy and people
Yeah.
will have no suspicion.
Some of these things you gotta wait till like the 47th hour though. Otherwise, you rearrange those cards, you're just like sitting around for 2 days waiting to get rich off that hand.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. You gotta lay a few things out. You know, timeline is important.
True.
I do
Yeah.
like the Ferrari idea though. That's a good one.
Even just to take it. Here's the thing. you should go through all of the steps in those 48 hours to acquire ownership of it, though. So you don't have to give it back, and it's also not stolen and like reported and whatever. So like, go to the dealer, like get the money somehow, go to the dealership, make the payment, notarize all of the titles and all that, like get everything done from all the people. Technically, you can even use their little frozen ass hands to write in their signatures, and then boom,
frozen ass hands. just accidentally break a hand off.
Bro, just take an index and then just pop an index off one of those people.
Yeah. I wonder how that works, like in these scenarios where time stops and everybody stops, and so they're like, stuck in the motion. And like, if you go by them and you accidentally touch them and their hand moves or something, like, does it break off?
Yeah, are they like frozen? Or are they still like malleable?
So they're like,
no.
I don't know. What does that even look like?
I mean,
how does that?
I would
work?
just assume like motion would stop, but like that's the scenario I'm in. Otherwise, that's a little creepy because people would just start falling over in the wind and shattering, which would just be a little strange.
I think my brain is referencing Click, the movie with Adam Sandler.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like they're frozen, but they're still like, if you punch them, I remember there's a scene where he just punching his boss in the face like repeatedly, and then he presses play, and the boss can definitely feel it. So he felt what just happened. He was just frozen at the time.
That's a good one. I would like 48 hours to slap a few people that I didn't really like.
Oh yeah.
Bro, weird question. Have a great answer.
Nothing's weird.
Nothing's weird in this context. If you were to, like, that guy, for instance, gets smacked in the face, obviously in that moment he doesn't feel it, but when it's unpaused, he then feels the repercussions of having been punched in the face. Correct? He's got like a black eye and whatever, broken nose and stuff. Would the same be the case if you tickled someone?
With the same
the same thing. So if you just went up to someone and you just tickle the shit out of them, bro, but nothing happens, and you like go and you do all your crazy stuff, you make your money, you get the Ferrari, 48 hours passes, you just like walk by this group of people and you just sit there, all of a sudden they all just start wrecking themselves, like falling over because they're like so dramatically tickled.
Right? That would be a good way to spend the last 4 hours or something. Just go around tickling people in these serious situations and these business meetings, or meeting a girl for the first time or something. Just go and tickle them, and then right when the time goes.
I'm saying you just pants everyone in their path, bro.
Yeah, like there's some fun things you could do, but there's also some things that you want to do to like better yourself for when time starts going again.
What are you gonna do? Like read a book in the 48 hours? Bro, I'm telling you, I'm gonna eat some steaks. I'm gonna get a Rari, bro, and I'm gonna
I'm just
tickle
saying,
some
like,
people.
there's probably some ways we can get very creative, and we're just not thinking right.
For sure, for sure.
You feel me?
All right, what bothers you right now?
Huh?
All right, what's the second thing that bothers you?
Bro, I live a good life. I don't know.
Where can I find the most money? That's what I'm thinking.
48 hours.
Because even if I go hop in a car, I can only drive 48. Like, there's no way to make it yours.
Know
what I'm saying? But if you find some cash, they can't track that shit.
There you go, buddy. That's a good one. You can go around. I'm assuming that like at
just steal people's
12:30
cash.
to 1. Well, better yet, you can get the cash that the armored bank truck people are taking to the stores. Boom, just hit all of those. Boom, just
boom,
hit the lick.
Okay.
I like that.
Or you could just like,
and you don't gotta hurt nobody.
Just head to the Apple store and steal everything inside and just sell it like a week at a time.
Sure, that might be a little obvious.
You almost. What do you mean? Why would that
I feel like they would track you down quick. Like,
well, that's what.
Those serial numbers are tracked.
Hey,
I remember. I only know that because have you seen those videos of those guys that would just break in, get like 10, 15 people just break into or just rush the Apple store, get all the stuff, and then bounce out. All those all those serial numbers are tracked by Apple. So
that's crazy. That's smart, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have an Android, bro.
Okay, here's a question I have.
They don't track that shit.
Here's a question I have, because my sister Laura told me today that her watch knows every time she's washing her hands. And I was like, oh, simple. It's just the movement, right? But she started doing the movement, like at the time we were in the car. She starts doing the movement with her hands. Didn't pop up. Nothing started. So I was like,
got
wait, hold
this.
on. I was like, hold on, 1 minute.
Fuck that shit.
This is gonna mistake some other things that you're doing with your hands.
I was gonna say,
So I was trying to think.
does it know when you're doing recreational activities? How many calories you burn?
Well,
It's
actually,
like your
it
heart
does.
rate is elevated.
It counts all your calories, baby, no matter what you do.
Yo.
But my
It's like-
question is, how does it know that you're washing your hands?
I got it. Or go ahead. Go ahead and guess.
Is Phil frozen? I thought you were about to say something.
I thought he was
No, bro, I was
frozen.
just real still. I was gonna make a joke, but it's like a little pastime. Go for it. Keep going.
I was waiting for you. You're just like, this.
No, I was like,
You look like you're making the Postmates face.
bro, I was like, Postmates.
Cricket.
I was gonna say, what if you were doing your recreational activities and it pops up on your little Apple Watch? It's like your heart rate is elevated. Are you having a stroke?
I like it. I like it.
Honestly, John, I love you and I appreciate you. I see you right now.
I know. I see where your head's at. I see
See
where
my
your
head's at?
I mean, I already
No,
like.
hopefully you didn't. Okay, yeah, cut that out. cut.
Yo, question.
Anyway,
Can you guys
so
hear my
what's
sound
happening with
effects
stroke?
or not?
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I heard
talking, I
him.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, cut that
Anyways,
out.
do you guys have any theories, like, realistically, that
Probably humidity, right? Because it knows like water.
That's a good one.
explain?
That's a good one.
Well, doesn't it sense when you're underwater and all like different?
Yeah.
Because I know even in the first or early, at least early generation Apple Watches, it knew if you were like swimming or running. Like it knew based on the motion, it knew based on the environment it was in. So maybe, I don't have an Apple Watch, so I don't know, but maybe especially with the newer ones, like 5 or 6 series, there is something that measures the humidity and kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's a sensor. There's a small sensor that, like, I guess everybody uses, and it does temperature, humidity, and elevation. So that could be it. That could be it, buddy.
I don't know, because even when you're sanitizing, though,
Yeah,
But that's
well, a
that's
good
not
one.
like a ton of water though.
I guess you're only getting on your hands, not really the watch.
Yeah,
it just
true.
kind of blows my mind because she says it's pretty accurate. Like every time she's
Mhm.
washing her hands, it pops up, which is impressive
Bro.
in my mind.
What they need is like a little
Good.
tablet on the way out of a bathroom that will literally like blink at you before you leave and be like, honestly, we all know you didn't wash your hands long enough.
Or just
Right.
a light outside, bro. Like if a
Yo.
light just popped up every time somebody went out that didn't
Don't
wash their
shake that
hands,
dude's
like
hand, man.
a horn or something. Oh my god.
Like a lunk
Side
alert.
note. Yeah, we went to this restaurant, and it was one of those restaurants where the waiters can like kind of say whatever they want to you. And we went to the restroom, and then we came back, and they're like, "Oh, did you wash your hands?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Okay, by the way, this wasn't me. They were like, "Did you wash your hands?" And I was like, "Yeah, I washed my hands." They're like, "What color was the soap?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, what color was the soap?" So I had to go back.
So
Yo.
that wasn't you. So you're just pretending.
weird preface.
It wasn't me.
So that
Interesting.
story wasn't you. That story was someone else.
That story was somebody else, and I heard it, and they had to go walk back. But I went along, and it was
is
me
it
at the
Arthur?
start, so I just had to go.
I feel that. I feel that.
It was when he was
Yeah.
younger. It was when
No,
he
you were
was
thinking of the
younger.
content, right?
Yeah.
Sounds better if it's you.
Exactly.
So, according to the VP of Technology at Apple, Kevin Lynch, he says our approach here is using machine learning models to determine motion, which appears to be
Mhm.
hand washing. That one's kind of obvious. And then we use audio to confirm the sound of running water or squishing soap on your hands. So I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, that's kind of sus, bro. Because if
Hmm.
they can be
So
that
you're telling me
accurate, if they can be that accurate with washing hands, they can be that accurate with just about anything they want.
Yo, well, that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna tell
saying.
you how I'm gonna tell you how we found this out. So we're sitting at the table, and she's telling me, she was like, "Did you know that this can sense whenever you're washing your hands, and it starts a timer for 20 seconds, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Wait, first of all, you have to wash your hands for 20 seconds? I thought it was a minute." Anyway, so
That's
she
your
was
teeth,
like,
bro.
"No, that's 2 minutes."
I know. I'm just kidding.
All these different times I got to worry about.
I do about 28
Anyway,
seconds.
so I'm like, "Oh, like,
Average about
what
15.
are you doing?" Yeah.
Bro, I got that Rotodent. I just zzz, one time.
Top row, bottom row, we out ski.
So I was like, do that motion while you're washing your hands. Didn't work. And I was like, well, stand up and then put your hands down and see, do the motion like you're washing your hands. Still didn't work. And I was like, well, do the motion like you're getting hand sanitizer, like you push the button, whatever, and then you kind of do that motion where you're doing with all your hands and stuff,
Yeah.
Still didn't work. So she puts her hands in front of me and I just go, and then like 4 seconds later, it turns on. I was like,
wow.
what the?
Whoa.
Blew my mind. Blew my mind.
That's cool, but is it not scary to anybody else? Like, it's kind of scary. Like,
It's a little weird. But
they can know everything we're doing essentially using
since
audio.
our privacy is already to the shit and we don't have any, what if they used that to track people that were harming other people? And they'd be like, ping, over in Apple headquarters, we just heard and specifically knew the motion of a stabbing
Right.
from some dude who happened to have an Apple Watch on that hand.
I feel like if
That would
that if the watches started ratting on their owners,
No one would buy them.
no one would buy those anymore.
Freaking can't murder someone with his Apple Watch. Freaking Series 7 here's everything I do.
But it is true that there is a lot of possibilities there.
It's very true.
That's it's kind of cool, kind of not cool, same time.
What needs to happen is like applications and stuff need to do a better job of actually like utilizing the features that a lot of these devices have. Because I feel like they're there and they're built into Apple, but not a lot of people actually utilize them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
I think
like
it'd be something if you could do that without it being connected to anything. I think it would be a lot safer, right? Like, so if they loaded all these preloaded motions that you did along with the sounds, like it wouldn't be like, the scenario where you're doing something, it gets sent to Apple, they analyze it, and then it comes back. No, it would be you're doing something, it get analyzed right there in your watch with these preloaded, scenarios, and then it tries to guess. That to me is machine learning. Or not machine learning. I think sending it to Apple is machine learning because they're constantly taking in that data, processing it, and then sending it back. If you just had it right there on your phone, that would be kind of, I don't know what you'd call that, but it wouldn't be machine learning.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. Speaking of machine learning, let's get nerdy for a second. Microsoft put out this, and now I can't find it. God damn it. They put out this like machine learning model that people can use to make their own apps. And it's like really cool. Like, say I wanted to identify in the demo, the guy is creating an app that will be able to tell him how much water he's drank throughout the day and how much more he needs to drink. So it'll use like your computer webcam, for example, and it knows every time you're like taking a sip from your cup.
Dang.
And the way it does it is you just train it basically. So you'll take a bunch of pictures of you drinking so that it teaches it like when your cup's picked up and it's at your mouth that you're drinking, right? And then it will obviously make mistakes. Like if say he started just putting his hand to his face and it thought he was drinking because it just like picked up his hand in the camera, right? So all the pictures where it was just his hand without the cup, he told him, no, I'm not drinking. So then it like the model, it's basically like you're teaching the model how to react to certain pictures so that it can start teaching itself what's right and what's wrong. And another example that they had on their website was identifying plants. And so, I don't know, I just thought it was cool that tools like that are just becoming like more accessible for everyday people. That used to be like a super advanced like idea.
Yeah.
Having like a machine learning model in your app or in your service, whatever you're offering. But I want to find the name of it so I could shout it out one shake.
Did y'all ever go on y'all's photos and have to kind of hit next on the people, their faces and stuff like that? To like for Apple or the iPhone to recognize the people's faces?
Where it says like, here's photos of all these people and it's like someone totally different. I haven't.
Well, sometimes it would be pretty damn accurate. Yeah. Like so far on the iPhotos that I'm using, it's been pretty accurate. Like it even has my dogs on there, which is kind of crazy.
That's wild, dude. I haven't used a lot. Honestly, that's what's so crazy about these phones is like I just don't use a lot of what is on there. Like I get a few apps that I really need, honestly, it's like social media and the camera. And even that, I'm sure there's ways to edit and ways to, I don't know, really complement things within the phone that I don't use, dude.
Might as well get an Android, bro.
How dare you? How dare you, bro?
Shout out to all them androids. Shout out to all them androids.
To all the droids.
It's called Lobe, like an earlobe. Just Lobe. Lobe.ai. If anybody wants to check that out, watch the demo.
That's why you like it so much, bro. You like lobes.
I love me some earlobes, man.
Arthur just be coming around scratching on people's earlobes for no reason.
First, I don't.
That's what Arthur would do in 48 hours. He'd just walk around feeling, trying to find the
walking around
finding the perfect lobe.
He'd put up a sign next to this person like best lobes in SA.
His hands would be all calloused from all the earlobes he'd been doing for 48 hours.
Everyone's got these like sore red earlobes. Like, what the hell happened? Like,
first of all, one does not scratch a lobe. That is disrespectful to a lobe. All right, one gently rubs.
What do you do?
One gently caresses a lobe.
Caresses.
Yes, you kind of like you pet, except pinch and pet. Yeah. The double P's, baby.
It's like when you're playing with like a dog's ears.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just kind of like
I feel like
finessing it a little bit.
It's definitely the most slept on part of the body. And what's unfortunate is a lot of people have their ears pierced, and it just completely destroys.
It's an obstruction.
It's a complete obstruction of a very soft part of the body.
What could be such a great time for both of you?
Truly. Don't sleep on the lobes, man. That's all I'm saying.
Imagine having a lobe freaking addiction.
Like
yeah,
a fetish?
I'm not quite addicted. I don't think
fetish.
A fetish?
Imagine having a lobe fetish.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Arthur's just got pictures of the lower ear all over his phone. It's a freaking lower quadrant.
Yeah, so, like, define
ear.
fetish. Like, what is a fetish exactly?
When you want to go around just touching other people's,
but that's when
lobes.
Well, usually that has to do with like being turned on by it. Generally speaking, like a fetish, I would assume.
If you'd spend 48 hours, when the whole world's frozen, just going around touching lobes.
I call that an issue for sure. Like at the least, that's an issue. Like,
yeah, like when I picture fetish, it's like an obsession. I think, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't quite say I'm obsessed. I just am intrigued.
Just fascinated. I'm just such a weird little round.
Ears are
I got
strange,
you.
bro.
I got you. I mean, I really don't understand how people have like weird ass like foot fetishes and shit like that.
Nah.
What? Why?
Nah.
What?
Bro, y'all remember the days like now Instagram's kind of like it's like split in the way that they like censor things where like they'll freaking pull off like random posts because in the background 40 miles away there was a song or like something super random like I don't know, some guy was wearing a t-shirt that was too tan and it didn't look like he had clothes on, but then you can freaking have like porn on there pretty much. They're really random, but like back in the day, you would just like go to the hashtag bodybuilding or something and there would be the most like random things that people would hashtag on there and it would just be like these like foot fetish pages and these like weird, dude, you could go down the rabbit hole, bro, of the freaky pages that were on there.
Yeah,
because people would just hashtag all the popular hashtags back when there was just like a million people doing it. And dude, you'd find some weird shit on there.
I think
I found a few feet.
A few feet.
There's a few of them. A lot of toes.
Put that quote on there.
Yeah, that'll be on
feet,
there.
Bro.
I found a few feet. I think that's the problem with hashtags, right? I think that might be why they're
cracking
kind
down.
of slowing down on promoting hashtags as much, or they're at least thinking about it because they don't really know. I mean, people kind of just spam those things, they don't really use them.
100%.
It's not really a strategic thing.
Yeah.
And even on Twitter, like hashtags kind of blew up on Twitter, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And nobody even uses them on Twitter anymore. Like nobody wants to put a hashtag on their tweets, unless it's like a popular hashtag that it just kind of becomes a meme or something like that,
Yeah. I feel like organic reach is so much more popular now where like I get most of my pages and my interests and whatever from people sending me stuff. So someone like sends me a post or a profile or something and then I start following it and liking their stuff and whatever. And like maybe a little bit comes from hashtags, but even when I look at like my analytics, a lot of the new people coming on are because people have shown my stuff to someone else or they sent someone or posted my
Right.
song or my video or whatever. And so like, or like when you go to like so-and-so liked so-and-so's picture, and if you still have that kind of analytic on, then you can see what other people are doing. And
Right.
so I feel like that's better because you're seeing what's actually going on, not just 80 million people posted Flex Friday or something, and you get lost in 80 million posts.
Right.
I do have a very sad story about
Uh-oh.
these,
Tell
going
us.
into these these rabbit holes that you get yourself in when you start looking at hashtags or even comments. There's these they have these reels now, and it's like these TikTok people, but you can't see their name. I don't know, the people that I see, I can't see the name of who it is. It's just like on some like TikTok page where they get all the TikToks and they put it on the reels, right? And so there's this funny guy out there, and he just, I don't know, it's so just low level production, but his clips are so funny. So I've always wondered like who he is. Does he have an Instagram page? So I always go to the comments and I say like, what's his @? And so I look at the comments. I open up the comments, and it's all these different names. His name is Teriyaki Poppy. And so I learned that afterwards, but
Pause.
Yeah. Let's
he's
take a moment.
Asian, okay? He's Asian.
Let's take a moment.
Teriyaki Poppy.
Teriyaki Poppy.
What a name.
What a name.
That's a good name right there. Anyway,
I'm ready for whatever you say next.
so I'm looking for, I look at the names, right? And I see all of them pretty much say Teriyaki Poppy. There's a few in there that are different ones, but I'm like, oh, it must be this Teriyaki Poppy guy because everybody's tagging him. So I freaking click on it, and the page loads, and it's literally like freaking dudes kissing, like all this gay shit. And I'm like, what the hell?
Which I'm totally okay with.
Which if that's your deal, if that's your fetish, go ahead.
Right.
Okay.
So okay, I'm confused.
Okay. Why were people tagging?
Yeah, why were people calling it Teriyaki Poppy?
Well, his name is actually Teriyaki Poppy, but it's Papi. But the one that I clicked on was Papii.
Ah.
So I clicked on that one, and it was some fucking bait for me.
An important
Damn.
distinction, apparently.
Watch those double eyes.
Those double eyes.
You never know what those mean.
He said, keep your double eyes up here.
So watch out, guys.
Yeah, that's
Yo,
scary.
Watch out when you
watch
scroll.
out. Count your eyes.
Watch where you're clicking, man. Watch where you're clicking.
Should
People out here
Teriyaki Poppy be our episode title?
Probably. Most likely.
People would think we
Hey.
interviewed him or something.
Check that guy out, man. He's super funny. It's like I
Yo.
said, it's low level TikTok production,
Yeah.
voice altered and everything.
I mean, what was
Oh, it's
the
so funny.
production level like on the other page? I mean, now that we're talking.
Oh god, I got out of there real quick. I threw my phone. Okay.
Bro, you didn't-
Jeez.
you
Whoa,
didn't investigate?
jeez.
Like-
So much hate. You fucking
Okay,
bigot.
fine. I'm following them now.
You fucking bigot, bro. Like,
All right, relax.
you fucking unfollow blocks. He's like, shit.
It's just not his preference is the problem.
Yeah.
It's not my fetish, all right.
Bro.
There are a few lobes in there. I would have sent it to Arthur.
I wonder if there's an earlobe page. I might be about that.
Bro, he might be a good. He's like, bro, I'll take the algorithm on that one. That's my social dilemma.
Yo, the ear hashtag is gonna be mine.
Bro, just freaking go here for the ear, bro. Like,
Go
Whoa,
here
hold on.
for the ear. What's
bro,
up?
why don't you start a freaking
No, I'm
Lobe
actually
page.
Lobe page?
I'm
Lobe
thinking about
fetish
it.
page?
not. I don't think I'll use the word fetish quite. Because it doesn't have to be a sexual
Interest.
thing. If it could just be like you enjoy looking at a nice lobe.
That's how they all start, honestly.
Bro, you can't go deep enough into like why that is and tell me it's not something,
And then
something else.
and then no, I'll have two pages.
Oh, the 18 plus
The other one will be lobes after dark.
second account,
page.
second account in the bio, bro. Like
Lobes after dark, baby.
freaking OnlyFans.
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
you're onto something, Arthur.
I don't really have a fetish,
that's
guys.
your-
Be cool.
I
I
think
think that's your
onto
big
something.
come up.
That might
I think
be
so.
I remember I was gonna make a page for my little Dumbledore action figure. What do you
Oh,
call that?
Yeah,
Those,
what were we gonna
Funkos.
call it? I had called it something creative. I forget.
Yeah, Dumble does.
Dumble does. There's something.
It was my Dumbledore Funko Pop. And I was gonna make a page called Dumble Does, which actually still isn't a bad idea if anyone is about it. I'll take a little small interest in it. But I'm
10%.
just gonna post Dumbledore like in random places doing cool shit. I think it would have gotten some
Rubber
followers.
It's just
Hashtag
with his
lobe.
little stiff plastic hand like this, just up on someone's logo.
No, okay, hold on. These are unrelated to the low
Oh, this
pages.
is the other page. This
Yeah,
is
the other page, the other
First,
page, yeah.
first
Page
page.
3.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we get to
You know-
page 3, you're done.
You know how crazy it is? Like, y'all seen some of these pages before? I haven't really seen them as much recently, but for a while they were really popular. People like kind of that same concept, and I think that's why we were talking about it, where people would take like Barbies or like G.I. Joes, and they would make them look like bloggers on Instagram. And so there'd be these like Barbies at the beach, but they would freaking take the pictures with like DSLRs and edit them, and it looked like it was like a human or something, but it's obviously this like little Barbie's plastic feet at the beach, barely touching the water. Like there's a bunch of pages like that. But like, you know how crazy it is to like work your whole life and like have a job and like do all these things, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start posting my Barbie on Instagram, and like that's the thing
Yeah.
that like takes off. Like that's what defines your life,
There's some crazy side hustles out there, dude.
dude.
Is it what you're gonna spend your life on? Barbie
Oh, I mean-
Rampage.
I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of like people from, you know, different generations. When they see our generation, they're like, okay, I worked in the coal mines for 42 years. I'm Jim Adler. And you just freaking work your whole life just to maybe get a decent retirement in the stock market and all these young kids. And then you see freaking like, what is it, like Charlie D'Amelio or whatever on TikTok move around for 15 seconds a day and make millions of dollars.
Yeah,
That'd mess me up.
facts.
I got you.
That's why they're so angry at us, bro. They hate friggin' millennials and Z's and X's and whatever because we friggin' don't have to do anything for money. Yet we still complain, which is kind of weird.
True.
Like you, dude, you can do anything for money.
That is true.
You can.
Yeah.
You can figure
Yeah.
it out. If you
Depending
if
how
you
low
are,
you want to, depending on how low you want to take your moral bar.
bro, if you're willing to put in like a little bit of work and research, the fact that YouTube is a thing and Instagram is a thing, and anyone can freaking even make products and sell them without having to put any money in, like it's pretty like anyone can.
I
do
mean,
anything.
What's crazy now is that we're seeing, I feel like the internet, there's so much opportunity, but there's only room for so many winners, you know? Like if you
Yeah.
factor in everyone, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know, to be honest, but I don't feel like everyone would be able to succeed with like an internet project. It's only like the winners,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. When are we gonna rebel back on the 1%ers of Instagram and the 1%ers of social media and take back what's ours, people?
Dude,
It's my timeline, bro.
I was going down speaking of rabbit holes, I was going down a YouTube rabbit hole and I realized how big Minecraft still is.
Yeah.
It's like the #1 game in the world.
Huge,
and there's
dude.
specifically a guy whose name, he just goes by Dream. And let me go to his page just so I can give y'all an idea. He just makes Minecraft videos and he is at 12.3 million subscribers. Every video these are his last 5 uploads, right? 10 million views, 45 million views, 36 million views, 14 million views, and 25 million views. Those are his last 5.
Jeez.
This guy, I would assume he's one of the fastest growing pages as of right now. But I mean, and there's tons like him, maybe not to his level, but like millions of views, billions of views and subscribers. It's just like, and they're making like simple, nobody even knows what this guy looks like, I don't think, or at least he doesn't. Like his avatar is like looks like it was drawn in Paint, Microsoft Paint. It's like some stick figure dude, and it just says Dream, and that's it. People just like his content, and it's just like insane, and especially being this game that has been out for the longest time, and it's just still so huge.
Well, bro, and it's crazy too. I was watching a video probably a couple months ago with this like financial analyst guy, or he does like personal finance videos on YouTube, and he was talking. He had someone on his show that was making like 50 to 60 grand a month. And he was like 15 or 16. I want to say he was probably 16. And he was just like running servers.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like running servers for these games or something like that. It's like, dude, there's so many crazy jobs out there that young kids are getting. I think that's what's really crazy about like the market nowadays is you could get into the money making market so much sooner than you ever used to be able to. You know, when I was maybe 14 or 15, I was doing some little like, I don't know, mowing lawns, doing some construction stuff, painting shit or whatever. I don't know. And it's like, you just happy to make maybe $7 an hour or something. But the fact that like a 16-year-old can learn to code like crazy and getting to creating these maps or creating servers and running them and stuff and make not like try to make 10 grand a year or even 100 grand. Like some of these kids are making hundreds of thousands of dollars at 16.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts.
They
dude.
just like fall into these like communities and these hobbies that just like change their lives. It's nuts.
It was wild. And this kid, he's just like, obviously he's 16. He lives at home, can't even drive yet. So he's just stashing hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's going to, once he turns 18, bro, he'll have $3 million in the bank just sitting there waiting for him.
Dude, you got to try to put yourself in like their parents' shoes, right? Like just your kid comes to you and tells you like they're making like tons of money and they don't really know what they're doing. Like they don't really know how to handle it. Imagine like you'd probably think they're kidding. I
know, and that's kind of like what I'm saying about like the last generation and just how weird it must be to see it. I even like doing online workout plans or doing social media. Half my clients are from social media, and people still like don't get the power and the exposure that social media and the gaming community and stuff can give you. But like imagine that kid's dad. Let's say he like moved up in a bank a little bit and is making 90 grand a year or something. He's like, his son's like, yeah, I made that in February.
Yeah.
Doing games. It's like, what?
It's like doing whatever I want to do on the internet, right?
Bro, sitting in his room and there, come out, go play outside. He's like, fuck that.
That's what blew my mind about the Wolf of Wall Street. Like there's a scene in there where the main guy, Jordan Belfort, is sitting at a diner or something eating breakfast. And then Jonah Hill's character comes up and he's like, is that your car out there? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, how much money do you make a month? And he was like, well, let me show you my check for this week or whatever. And it was like $100,000 for like the week or something. He was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like if that's really your paycheck, I'm gonna call my boss right now and I'm quitting. And he calls him and he quits, whatever. But dude, when he wasn't like that a year before. Like it was just something that he kind of stumbled into doing the thing that he was doing before. And you know, it's crazy that these things can just change for you and so quickly. Right. Like I'm pretty sure these kids were like 15, didn't have a job, didn't have nothing, probably barely had a computer, didn't even have a camera to make these videos on. And then they're just playing games. And then at 16, they're making millions of dollars more than their parents. They don't even know what to do with it.
Crazy.
Like that's
dude,
crazy.
It's timing, right? You know, like a lot of these people, I've heard so many stories of people like, dude, I don't know why I made it. Like I just came in at the right time. Like think of like the first people to come out of SoundCloud that made it in music. And you're like, dude, I don't know. All of a sudden I was getting millions of streams on SoundCloud and I started distributing them finally. And I was a millionaire. I got a friggin' platinum record and whatever. Like it's wild.
It's the luck factor.
Yeah.
I always like,
can't ignore it.
I want to say it's How I Built This, the podcast. Where they interview founders of successful companies.
I think you've sent me a few of those.
Yeah, I want to say it's that one. I might be wrong. I haven't listened to that in a while, but he always asks them, did you get lucky or was it because of your like work ethic or whatever, like however he words it. But he always asks them like about the luck side of things. Yeah. And I always like that question because most of them admit like, yeah, I did. There is definitely a level of just timing and luck. Because there's a lot of people, and that's what it goes back to what I was saying, that sometimes I wonder how many winners there can really be when there's so much luck involved in a lot of these things. And you do have to work hard. Like I don't want to undermine that in any aspect, but there is definitely like, especially these days on the internet, just getting picked up by the algorithm, you know, and obviously you got to keep uploading, got to keep working, but there's a lot more to it.
Even these kids that like, you know, we're talking about these kids, we're talking about these people who, you know, have these, even Amazon, like if you would have, I saw a little interview with some guy that he was saying like if Jeff Bezos would have come to him, 20 years ago and said, "Hey, I have this idea that I'm going to sell books online, but I'm starting the company out of my garage right now. Will you give me $1 million?" Like, dude, no way. But somehow he made it, right? Like somehow he had that, that luck. But, to have that kind of luck, like, I guess, what are the chances, like, even if you had luck, even if you really truly, believe that luck is what made it happen, like, would that have happened if he would not have been doing what he was doing before, right? Like, if you would have been, just sitting here in my chair, what are the chances, or how lucky do you think I would be, or not even luck, like, what are the chances of me making a multi-million-dollar company? Like, my chances would be pretty low versus if I was like working towards, doing that. And then finally, when the opportunity arose, like I was ready for that opportunity.
Facts.
And so I don't know, for me, that is what luck is that you're increasing your chances. Yeah. And you're ready for that opportunity whenever it does arise, and you're ready to like, hit it right where the nail needs to be hit, regardless of when it's coming at you.
That's what I was going to say is
very true.
Is like luck without preparation doesn't mean much,
Right.
It's like I could have like the right thing happen on Instagram and maybe an algorithm picks it up. But if I've got shit content, or I've got, I don't have engagement, or whatever the situation may be for anyone, it's like, there's also that saying, like, my overnight success took 20 years kind of a thing. Where it's like, I've been doing this forever and ever. And all of a sudden I made it to a certain level that everyone saw it. And once people saw it, it expanded like crazy. And the same with a lot of musicians that have like, I've been making beats since I was 13. Yeah. But you don't really think about that. All you saw is when they were 25 and their first song popped. And you're like, dude, all of a sudden, and you can say that it's like, oh, it's because SoundCloud became a thing, or it's because streaming services blew up, so all of a sudden there was more exposure. But the reality is that if you've curated and you've stewarded like your skill set and your gift and your whatever well, then odds are you're going to be in a better place to actually capitalize on whatever that luck may be. Otherwise, a lot of people get thrown off by it,
That's true.
It does have a lot to do with timing, though, because there are a lot of good ideas that just weren't at the right time. Like, I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure there's some out there.
Yeah, I mean, it does make you think, like, how many people were presented with an opportunity that they weren't able to take advantage of because they weren't prepared, or they didn't have the right mindset. It makes me think of, like, Mr. Beast is one of the biggest YouTubers now. And I remember seeing something about him where he was uploading daily for, like, a couple of years, averaging like 100 views per video, like something nuts. Like, he was getting no views but still putting stuff out regardless. Like, he didn't care. And then he's getting like 20 million views per video, and just like
easy.
I mean,
that's this right here, buddy.
It's that drive, dude. It's that drive.
That's gonna be freaking tilcast clips
right here.
Let's go.
Shit, we're going week by week, baby.
No, I mean, I heard that same story from that guy that I was talking about earlier who does the financial stuff. He was talking about that. He started YouTube. Right now he makes like $3 to $4 million a year on YouTube alone, just an ad. And then he makes a couple $1 million elsewhere. But it's crazy money. But when he started 5 years ago, which is not long, dude, like, I've been personal training for 9 years. If I went from making however much I did then to $5 million personal training now, that'd be a ridiculous growth curve. But like, you don't see that on anything except for like media-based companies, really, or tech. And so, but this guy, like, he first uploaded, and you remember, like, his first like 12 videos had like 20 views. Like, with anything that I upload probably had like 40, 50 views or something. Mm-hmm. And then he remembers like when he started getting like 100, 150. After about a year, he said he was making like $80 a day, and he was like, "Oh, this is like minimum wage." Kind of like, I'm making minimum wage on YouTube. And then he started going and going and going after like 2 years. And then he was like, oh, $350 a day, $400 a day, $480 a day. And like, next thing you know, he's like, oh, this is like a job. Like, and he just kept like three times a week. I'll put out 3 videos a week. Next thing you know, dude, he's making freaking $8,000-$9,000 a day just because he has such a catalog of material and content now that people go back to and watch and rewatch. And dude, it's just wild. I can't comprehend it. But like, most people aren't willing to put in that, like, focus on longevity and just be consistent and not worry about it making money. It's kind of where I'm at with music, where I'm just like, I'm just going to keep putting it out because I love it. I enjoy it. Yeah. And hopefully whether that's next year, next week, or freaking 10 years from now, something happens where my life shifts, and me being able to consistently put out, something that I'm passionate about will be either picked up, or it'll just finally see that growth curve where, it makes a dent in my life,
True that.
That's the beauty of putting anything out on the internet, because once it's out, there's only upside. Like, what's the downside, right? Unless it's like negative content that makes you look bad for some reason.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, it can only go up. It's not like it can get negative views, not like it can get negative money.
Yeah.
I mean, even sometimes that negative article will make your shit blow up too.
Yeah.
Right. I could be wrong about this, and maybe we talked about it, but isn't Baby by Justin Bieber like the most hated, like by
one of them, yeah.
by statistics, it's like one of the most hated
Disliked,
videos on the internet. It has like the highest dislikes. It's got like 2 or 3 billion views or something insane. And it's like, shoot, man.
But also that song blew him up, right?
Or Friday, Rebecca Black too, same thing. Like one of the most hated songs ever. But dude, it freaking got her famous, bro.
And speaking of Rebecca Black, I might wife her up. If she'll have
if
me.
You play your cards right.
Dude, that girl glowed up.
God. I've never seen her. Let me see what she looked like.
She was on the Voice, right? Didn't she?
All I know is I came across her gram about like a year ago, and I was like, oh, wait, is that the same chick? Like, who's this? What's going on here? Anyways, yeah, that was just a side.
Oh, wow. She looks like, it's like the younger her and then the older her just looks like 2 totally different people.
Well, shout out to her though.
She can actually sing too. Like, to give her some credit. Like, that whole thing that happened, I've heard interviews before about her, like, talking about it, because it was such a crazy, like, I mean, I can only imagine, as however old she was, like, I don't know, 13 years old or something, like, how hard that would have been. Like, imagine being freaking 13 and being torn up by adults on the internet all over the world, just freaking hating you because you put out a silly song. And, like, saying, I mean, people say bad shit on the internet, man. Some people are nuts.
People feel go very confident behind a computer screen.
Bro,
man.
The worst comments you can think of, like, I can only imagine. Like, I read some stuff, and again, like, now they really try to be, pretty good about censoring some of that stuff and pulling them off, or you being able to control it from your side as the uploader. But, man, these people will just be some video
read it,
of
though. That's the problem.
You still got to read it, and it's freaking like, people are like, why don't you swallow a stick and die? And I'm like, why? Why would I do that? People are crazy,
I'm just showing you how to work out. Jesus Christ.
I'm like, bro, I'm sorry you don't preach or curl the way I do, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's a wild place.
Anyways, we got to wrap this up soon.
You can make that money anywhere, man. Robinhood, if y'all are looking for a good stock to look at Uber and look at Canopy Growth.
Should we give John his own, like, investment segment?
Bro, today... Canopy Growth made me, let's see, $238.
Woo. Just today?
Yeah. Well, if you would have invested it last, that was let me see how much percent that was. Today it went up 10.85%. So if you would put $100, you would have made $10.
Let me tell you something. I won't talk about money much because I don't like to, so I won't even say much. But let me just say a very specific stock, that I own. In a certain field, certain industry, similar to what you're talking about, is up like 70% today.
What is
I think it was at 68 last time.
Okay.
It's making me some.
What is it?
Some things.
So basically, just focus on that industry is what we're trying to say.
Focus on whatever industry we might be talking about, because things are.
All drugs are legal in Oregon now. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, you can smoke meth over there? Let's go!
Yeah, I mean...
You want...
I'm just kidding.
Do you want to? Heroin!
No, I didn't hear that.
More like Hera-lose, bro. Like, come on.
Hera-lose.
Damn, bro.
No, I didn't know that all drugs...
My bad.
Just hear like a gated rumble underneath us talking.
I wish it wasn't gated.
No,
the thing is,
this
sounds fine on my end
know.
every time.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, just the drug industry is going to do great. Also, Uber's gone up like, let's see, 22% in a month.
You know why? Because that law Prop 22, I think is what it's called in California. They were trying to get rid of gig work, or they were trying to force these companies to classify all drivers as employees.
That's right. Yeah.
So they could give them all benefits and stuff, and it didn't pass. Which, for I don't know, depending on how you look at it, is a good or a bad thing. But that's probably why Uber's up, because they're the winners in this.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't put a whole lot of money in them, so they're not making too much money. But it's still up.
Yeah,
and it's something good to look at.
100%.
I would just encourage people to there's so much access to, talking money for 2 seconds, so much access to, the ability for anyone to start investing and saving now, even with zero minimums and stuff like that. Even if it's literally $5 a month put into a different account.
Yes.
I just highly encourage people to do that. I remember when I first started investing, I was so confused. I'm still so confused, but it's fine. I just randomly put shit out there. But, I still don't know much, but, just find, I've used some good, Ally's a great bank account, Wealthfront's a good one, whereas you can get it with zero minimums for good percentages. It's really easy to use. It's all online. It's very secure. Find a way to start, bettering your financial state. I think that's important to learn, especially now in such a volatile market, such a volatile state in this country, especially, where it's you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And COVID was proof of that, me as an independent contractor taking a big hit, and you don't really prepare for that. No one really teaches you what do you do if there's a worldwide pandemic. And so it's I think just people put 5, 10, whatever you're able to, any extra income before you pay anything else, put it to the side, and you'll be surprised at how that adds up. An emergency hits, you're oh, I do have $600 over here, or whatever. Yeah. Robinhood, Ally, there's some good, I think Weeble's a good one too.
The age of just leaving money sitting in a savings account is definitely over. There's so many better options.
Got to get my stacks out my safe real quick, but gotta get my gold bricks out of there.
Speaking of the pandemic, if we go into another shutdown, it's gonna be a great time to buy stocks, because you look at the last time that it went down, or the last time we got a lockdown and everything went to shit, dude. From then to now, it's gone up so much.
100%.
So especially tech stocks, honestly.
Be a great time for y'all to watch our content on YouTube, if you know what I'm saying, as well.
Hell yeah.
Close this shit out. You know what
Anyways, we gotta wrap this bad boy up. Quick ski.
Wrap it up, baby.
We'll be back next Tuesday. We appreciate you listening. We always got more to talk about, so make sure you're tuning in and subscribing and liking and rating and reviewing and following and doing all that nonsense.
All that.
We'll be back next Tuesday. We out.
Filthy.
Fuego. 30.
Great time.
Tilcast 2.